Crawford, у Крофта есть высокий IQ, и обоих стойках он может боксировать, он можно давить и бегать, и даже ближний бой тоже может.
Crawford is not really entertaining. So I don't really care about who he fights. But I will tell you like this, he's a tremendous fighter. He's a great fighter, but he's not really entertaining outside the ring. There's nothing that makes me want to be like, I can't wait to see the next Terence Crawford fight.
Don't get me wrong, okay? He's a good fighter, a great fighter. I always say before I see him calling me out and want the fight and everything, I say before he's a great fighter. But if you look at his career, mention one elite fighter. Just mention me one elite fighter.
So Postal wasn't elite?
Who?
Victor Postal.
Who's that guy?
Oh, so he wasn't commercialized. He wasn't a great.
The biggest boxing fight on the 2025 calendar is now less than a month away, as Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford are set to square off on September 13th at Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas, Nevada. Terence Crawford's most recent opponent, Israil Madrimov, got honest about Crawford's fight against Canelo Alvarez.
The perspective, having fought Terence, him now fighting Canelo, moving up 2 more weight classes to fight a lot bigger guy.
Сейчас всем интересно вот это бой, потому что они занимают паунд по паунде. Крофорд, у Крофта есть высокий IQ, и обоих стойках он может боксировать, он можно давить и бегать, и даже ближний бой тоже может. Поэтому мне тоже интересно, если он не набирает лишний вес, может тоже выиграть это. Есть шанс.
Claressa Shields is now responding to Shane Mosley after Mosley predicted that Canelo would easily beat Terence Crawford. Shields made it clear that she is picking Crawford, saying she believes that Crawford's skill set, timing, and ring IQ will be too much for Canelo. Shields disagreed by saying Crawford could box Canelo's shoes off.
With like all due respect to Shane Mosley, sure. he just said that Terence Crawford was going to get watched by Canelo. I don't think his word is really worth that much.
Do you think she need a year?
No, she needs till January, February. That's the timeline. She needs 6 to 8 months. She said out of her own mouth that she's in shape. She can come back. She told me that I'm too small for her. I'm not skilled enough for her. She punched too hard. And if she comes to get me, I won't be able to keep her off me. So stand on that, take this $15 million, and come get your ass whipped.
Moreover, Canelo has an intense focus on this fight. Everything he does is driven by one question: does this improve my chances of winning the fight against Crawford? If not, then it's out of here. He is fueled by control rather than anger. He is calm in preparation and fierce when it's time to fight. He knows that a clear mind is a great weapon, and a quicker thinker is the one who responds first. For him, the fight starts long before the bell rings, when he prepares for the task and turns a deaf ear to distractions.
He's a complete fighter. No, he's a very good fighter. But I'm being there with every single style. Obviously, it's different because he changed the guards and everything. But you know, I need to adapt myself to anything. I hope he comes with the mentality to put a great show, and that's it.
Significantly, it was Eddie Chambers who backed Canelo during his prediction about this huge fight, stating Canelo has a good amount of strength, experience, and mental strength. He stated that the opposite fighter is making all of the adjustments while his opponent fights the fight they're comfortable with. He also said that the late weight and adjustment will be a bigger issue for him for sure than his opponent. Crawford is an awesome fighter, he argued, but can only disturb Canelo if he gives him something different to the fight. Canelo will have a clear advantage if not.
I have to go Canelo. And I would love to see Crawford do his thing. You know what I mean?
You normally boxer biased. Not saying that Canelo isn't the boxer.
Right. And normally I would kind of be. Because it's just, I don't know. I see that you're able to exploit, you know, flaws in guys, and typically that's what Crawford does. This one, it's just really difficult. This Canelo is an extremely experienced, talented stalker, but boxer too. he has the ability to do both, to be honest.
In the camp, when Canelo works the pads and mitts, he is not just looking for speed, flash, and precision. He is looking for angles, distance, and timing. His coach may give him patterns similar to what Crawford may throw at him, making the fighter's mind and body work together. The sound of waxed leather hitting leather is crisp, controlled, and almost rhythmic. It is as much a practice as a conversation between the fighter and his trainer, to the extent that every combination cements instincts until the natural move is the ability to control the body under pressure. As is well documented, no champion achieves success alone, and Canelo's team is living proof of that. They are part of his focus and working with him in totality. Everybody in the camp knows the destination, and every action they take is on the universal road to the same destination. Nothing is wasted in their world, not even spoken words or seconds of time. Everything has meaning, whether it is a conversation about strategies or a slight nod in agreement.
Pero nunca así, güey, pero nunca acá. Lo estuviste parando y ¡pum! Y ¡pum! Y ¡pum! Y que no te hagan para atrás. Y si te hace poquito atrás, así. Así, no así. No que te hagas guango de aquí, güey. No es como hacer esto, que te están haciendo así. No te muevas, dale fuerte, ponme fuerte. Ya si te estoy canchando, me estás canchando mucho más, un pasito para atrás, güey. Sí, okay. Ahí, pero fuerte. Ahí así. Así, pero no así. Porque ahí valimos madre.
Gabe Rosado also just analyzed this fight, and he said it is going to be a fantastic fight. He said, on fight night, both sides are coming to win and are going to do whatever it takes to win. He also made it clear that this time we are going to see a different and new Canelo. Obviously, he has never seen before because he knows what is at stake, and he is going to do everything in his power to give a show-stopping performance.
I think it's going to be a great fight. I think Crawford, I think he's going to come to fight, but I think we're going to see a different Canelo. I mean, I think Canelo been coasting just because it's like, why take a risk? I don't have to take a risk. I'm Canelo Alvarez. I'm the face of boxing. But this one's way different. You know what I mean? So I think we're going to see a different Canelo, man.
Not to mention in training, Canelo's strength and conditioning program is about building fight-specific strength and stamina, not just getting bigger. Explosive jumps provide the power to spring off his legs, sledge pushes simulate the drive in his fists, and resistance training to build core stability for close combat situations. There is a purpose to every drill, and nothing is done without a cause. The ultimate goal is a body that can deliver maximum force in round 1 and still be a danger in round 12. All the elements of muscle, strength, balance, and the engine that drives his style from the first round to the last round are trained specifically.
Sigo, pum, 6, 7, eso, 8, 9, 10, eso. Venga, Saúl, van 10 segundos, 10 más, venga, Saúl. 5 segundos más, vamos. Tiempo, Saúl.
Returning back to his training for the fight, the heavy bag is a very real target in Canelo's eyes, an embodiment of the guy he will be facing. The punches are all intentional, body hooks drain energy, uppercuts disrupt rhythm, and jabs control space. He observes the bag's motion as an opponent's reaction, changing his stance and looking for new openings. The positioning is just as important as power. By the time he is done, the bag not only has his power in it, but his plan for how he will break Crawford down.
Ahí.
Mosley, the multi-division world champion, has made a bold prediction for Canelo in the upcoming fight as well. Mosley called Crawford a very good boxer that anyone could lose to, but he said the Mexican star will win in the end. Mosley commended Crawford's abilities and said he would be happy if he won on September 13th. Nevertheless, Mosley believes Canelo will surpass the challenge with relative ease. Mosley feels that if Canelo engages as he usually does, he would win. In Mosley's mind, Canelo's power and experience at 168 are also important.
I think it'll be a great fight. I think both guys are great fighters, but I think Canelo's just too big, and you know they mistake him as being just a guy at 168, not a regular guy, and Crawford being the more talented. But that's not the case. They're both talented. Yeah. But the only thing is Canelo has them by two-weight division. So I think that Canelo beats him pretty easily. But we'll see. If Crawford does good, I mean, kudos to Crawford. You know, I'm happy for him. If he can pull off, great. But my mental, my mind's telling me that Canelo's gonna probably beat him.
Overall, don't be surprised if Canelo Alvarez defeats Terence Crawford when they square off in the ring. He's ready for the fight in front of him and knows he needs to win. Everything becomes clearer the closer you get to fight day. The noise dissipates, you hone in your focus, and your work becomes simpler. Just do what you've been doing. Protect your mindset, trust your team, and execute your vision. Canelo says that's how greatness is not just constructed, but also protected and maintained. Another key figure, Virgil Ortiz, in a recent interview also looked at Canelo's side of things to identify things that he sees as advantages. Just like boxing guys do, he talked about his strength and size. He also talked about the most important thing, which is ring experience. Although he also acknowledged that Crawford is a talented fighter, he emphasized that the fight would be won due to the difference in weight. Even if in the end both players are incredibly skilled in their crafts, Canelo will hold advantages in the fight because of the quantitative differences.
Canelo, he has obviously the size advantage, the strength advantage, intellect. I think Crawford edges him out in IQ, but I just think the weight difference is going to be the deciding factor here. I mean, we've seen Crawford get hurt. Right. We've seen Canelo get hurt, right? But I feel like
not lately.
Yeah, not lately. Not lately. It's been a while.
But another way, in camp, Canelo chooses sparring partners specifically to imitate Crawford's style. Crawford has great footwork, quick hands, and challenging angles to defend against. In sparring, Canelo is trying to read every tiny detail, testing out new positions and setups, and inducing reactions from that positioning. We want every mistake to happen in the gym and fight night when it isn't corrected. He's prepared for anything because there is a lot of chaos and tempo would vary at times. Some slow rounds when we were focused on what was being worked on, and some rounds that look like total mayhem. By the end of the round, we are hopeful he leaves the ring more dangerous. Gaining insight from the other side, Terence Crawford is also completely focused. He knows what kind of opponent he has in front of him, so he does not take any chances. He puts in the effort daily, he's diligent and persistent, and he's willing to be prepared for anything. Crawford is known as being focused and disciplined, and this bout is no different.
Wait.
Most importantly, it was Jack Catterall, who used to spar with Canelo, who said Crawford is going to win this fight. When asked about his time sparring Canelo, he said he punches very hard, and he believes he is no longer capable of doing so. In addition, he also said Crawford would conquer.
But obviously you've been in there, you've seen it firsthand with Canelo. Is he the one to get it done? Is he going to beat Crawford, or what?
You know what, I've been changing my mind, chopping and changing. Two tremendous fighters in their own right. I won't call it an upset, but I'm going for a Crawford victory.
Crawford is also training, pushing himself to be at his best. With Canelo as a big opponent, Crawford knows that the smallest detail could mean the outcome of this fight, and that is why he is focused and trying to work hard. He is not cutting corners or slacking off. In addition, Crawford has got support from another big name. Willie D predicted that Terrence Crawford would win this fight easily, saying that it wouldn't even be close. After measuring up the positives and weaknesses of both boxers, he was convinced that he would win unanimously or completely control the ring. He said that the choice of Crawford came due to his strengths, especially his ability to adjust to opponents during a fight. He added that his competitive spirit would give him a great advantage over Canelo, which would give him an edge from the first round till the end of the fight.
I do believe, all things considered, Terrence Bud Crawford will not only win the fight, but he is going to dominate the fight. If there is a decision, the decision will be unanimous. It ain't gonna even be close. Terrence Crawford has that extra thing about him where his heart will not allow him to fail. The dude is one of the most competitive people I've ever seen in my life.
But Crawford stays focused, keeps his head down, and lets his actions do the talking. He is confident, but not because of trash talk or hype. It comes from knowing that he has prepared the right way. When the fight night is near, he is always calm, hungry, and ready to show the world what he is capable of doing.
What will you have to do to be your best version in order to get this victory?
I think just be myself and just don't get careless in the ring, and stay sharp all 12 rounds. If it goes 12 rounds, I think that's the only thing that I need to do, and make sure that in training that I sharpen up all my tools.
This fight is simply a chance for Crawford to show everyone who he is and continue to move his career forward. He feels that it is more important than a fight. It is more about putting on display his ability and commitment on the biggest stage. Everything about his training is done to ensure that he is fully ready when the lights are on.
Can't imagine thinking about getting beat. That's not something that I think about.
Well, you've never had it as a professional fighter.
Yeah, but I never like to think about losing. It comes to each and every one of our minds as a fighter, what if? But that's why we train so hard, so that if can deteriorate, in camp. But, a win against Canelo Alvarez, what it would do to my career would put me, on Mount Rushmore.
Yes.
I think I would be one of the greatest fighters ever.
In the end, the boxing world is absolutely buzzing with excitement about this fight. The countdown has begun. Are you following every last detail like the die-hard fans? Everyone is obsessed with the news and the pundits. But who do you trust more, the veterans in boxing analysis or the supporters who have frenzy in their blood? Canelo's cohorts are enjoying the frenzy of confidence. Do you believe Crawford will just be too much size, strength, and power? Or do you side with Crawford's fans who maintain they will have too much slick footwork footwork, speed, and ring IQ for Canelo to settle on and gain any rhythm. So here's the big question. Who do you believe will emerge victorious on September 13th? Will Crawford's training, preparation, and doggedness for some type of greatness help define his career in such a way? Or will Canelo's championship experience simply be a measure that is too much for anyone to deal with? This is not only a fight, it's a stylistic clash, legacy versus legacy, and certainly two cannons clashing into each other's pride. Both fighters have something they are willing to risk everything for. So again, tell us, what's your prediction? What corner are you standing in? Leave your prediction in the comments.